Good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this is your Red Pill News for Saturday Night Livestream. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. We had a wonderful stream last night with Linda Paris. Linda is always a pleasure to have on the show. It was actually her debut, but obviously I've been watching her for a long time, so it was kind of a dream come true finally. Tonight is another returning guest, my good friend JasonWasAGentile. Everyone knows Jason. He's a wonderful man, got a wonderful message, and we've got lots of stuff to go over tonight. We're going to be going over lots of new posts. We'll be right back.
From fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, chronic fatigue, poor circulation, or pain and inflammation? The Sedona Pro PEMF Wellness System can help. PEMF has deep roots that go back to Nikola Tesla and has evolved through the years. After thousands of clinical trials in Russia, Europe, and the USA, the closest thing to the legendary medbed is now available in the USA. After decades of PEMF research, development, and enhanced cutting-edge technology, the Austrians have perfected it. And now the Sedona Pro PEMF Wellness System is available to you. Its benefits can be life-changing. Nothing happens in the body without an electromagnetic exchange. When the electromagnetic activity of the body ceases, life ceases. When we increase electromagnetic energies, we increase life and promote healing. Better blood circulation, better oxygenation, and more energy creates better cellular health. PEMF therapy completely penetrates the body and affects individual cells, organs, tissues, and thereby the entire body. The Sedona Pro can enhance ion exchange, cell voltage, normalize circulation, and increase the oxygen and ATP utilization in a cell. Sounds amazing? Well, it is. Sedona Pro PEMF has created special programs for those that suffer with Lyme disease, fibromyalgia, neuropathy, poor circulation, chronic pain and inflammation, and the Sedona is the answer to your prayers. Today's biggest concern is the negative effects of Wi-Fi, cell phones, and 5G that harm our bodies. The Sedona mat can help energize and increase the cell's resiliency to protect you from the negative effects of Wi-Fi and 5G. The Sedona Pro PEMF system uses not only the Earth's Schumann frequencies that is healthy energy for the body, but includes 5 other specialized waves like rectangular, sawtooth, multi-resonance, and impulse with a frequency range of 0.01 Hz to 15,000 Hz, because every cell and organ in your body resonates to a variety of frequencies. By using the PEMF daily, you can enhance your cellular energy, increase circulation to help boost your immune system, and overall health naturally. You'll soon be feeling better and enjoying a better quality of life. The Sedona Pro PEMF therapy is natural, non-invasive, and drug-free, and light years ahead of the competition. Call Coach Jimmy K today at 503-395-4142 to find out how Sedona Pro PEMF Wellness System can change your life today, or go to sedonapropemf.com.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to Coach Jimmy K and Sedona PEMF for that incredible product sponsoring this program. If it wasn't for Coach Jimmy K, we wouldn't be able to put on a show like this. You guys, I have a couple of quick thank yous I need to send out. First of all, I want everyone to please pray for Sharon Barasa. Sharon is a longtime viewer of the program, and she's got some health things that are going on. She's going to be going into the hospital, and I want everyone to keep her in your prayers. Also, I need to say thank you to Tony Yo from last night. He said, love you so much. That was right at the end of the program. I missed it. Mary Poff, also thank you for the super chat. Also, Diane Rain 1, another longtime viewer. She said, Pepe, Lucy, and Ricky give a bark out to Chi-Chi, Muffin, and Truman. Thank you very much to all of those people who supported the program, and thank you to everyone who's here tonight. I see we've got lots of people waiting in the audience. I see people from Nova Scotia. I saw Michigan. I saw Ohio. Let me see. What else do we have? We have people from Louisiana, Ontario, Chicago, Elk Grove, California, New Zealand. Absolutely love it. You guys, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Now, as I stated in the introduction, we have one of my favorite returning guests, my good friend, JasonWasAGentile. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming my good friend, JasonWasAGentile. Jason, how are you, my friend?
Jason was a Gentile all up in that live stream. Red Pill 788. I'm so excited. Where would you not want to be on a Saturday night than on a Red Pill 78 live stream? This is where it's at.
I believe it. I love that you think that, and I love that all these people in the audience think it. I saw also, I want to say a couple of quick shout-outs to my mods. I saw Crystal Lynn. I saw JoJo K. I see my brother Methods. And I'm sure that I'll see other people as they come streaming by. But you guys, Wheezy Girl. I see Wheezy Girl's in there too. Good stuff. So, Jason, what's been going on with you, man?
Well, I'm super excited about this MAGA challenge, of course. Watching this whole thing unfold before our very eyes.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Absolutely. I've been, I'm working on some Beatles remixes that I'm pretty passionate about. Yeah, so I've done 3.
Nice. Oh, there's my mom, Real Red Pill 78 mom. Thank you, Mom. Also, I saw Steve Perk. Hello, Steve Perk. Thank you to all of my very dedicated mods who show up at every show to help out with keeping the chat clean and family friendly. You can go on any station in the Cableverse and watch a show that talks about non-family friendly subjects, shall we say. I want people to come here and I want them to be comfortable knowing that they don't have to tell their kids to go in the other room. Sometimes the subjects are maybe a little adult, but that's because we are talking about the truth here. But in general, you can have your kid right there with you on your lap watching Red Pill 78.
It's funny you say that.
Yeah.
My nephew and his 4-year-old and 3-year-old and 1-year-old are in the other room with my wife.
Good stuff.
And they're watching Red Pill 78, just like you say.
Hey, fam. I hope everybody's doing good. As soon as you said nephew, I immediately thought, show the scamp. Where is that little guy? But then you said he has kids. So he's obviously not.
He's like as tall as me.
So he's an adult. He's a fully formed human being.
Yes.
Hey, Dr. B in the audience, Peapod, Diane Rain, you guys, there are so many people who are always in the stream here, you guys. I know I'm not going to be able to say everybody, but I love y'all. I love you, everybody who is willing to come here and hang out with us on a Friday and a Saturday night, because this is probably the best gig that I could imagine, is being able to come here and hang out with you guys. So tell me about you have your own MAGA challenge. Are you working on like an extended mix or something bigger?
I haven't actually thought about that. You're such an idea man, Red Pill. But yeah, I should do that. But I've been leaning back on the laurels of my original MAGA challenge, which seems to be still floating around.
You can't rest on your laurels, Jason.
Dude, I got to get up and do that KAG challenge.
Exactly. I saw Severe. He did a CAG song for sure.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Severe's watching tonight. Severe, you got to come back on the show. Oh, hey, there's Geezer Man and Phenomenon as well. Welcome, everyone. Glad you're here. So, what new stuff are you working on, Jason? What else have you done besides these new Beatles tracks, which unfortunately we can't play on the show?
That's a true story. We have to protect the channel. So you know. But I do have a tune for tonight, and it's called "He Gets the Limelight." Okay. And so basically, the whole Kanye situation and all of the stuff he's been doing musically. Yes. You can't help but just at least in your peripheral vision, look over there.
I love Kanye. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I like him too.
Big fan. But I mean, I really, really dig the stuff that he's doing now. I feel like he broke out of that Matrix programming, and you could see it before. Like he tried to come out. He spoke out at that one show that one time, and they immediately put him on like a 5150 or a psychological hold, whatever that is, and then just pumped him full of psychotropic medications to try and get him back into that programming and get him to stop talking about what he really was, interested in telling people about. And it took a couple of years, but he was able to finally get past that, convince the people around him that, this was the truth. He was interested in coming out and speaking his truth, and part of that includes, his faith. And now that he's put that on front and center, and, there are sometimes you see people talking about their faith and you can tell it's a gimmick. Okay, that like, oh, hey, this is just what I was like. I don't know. I think of a couple of pop stars, from the female pop stars. There was Jessica Simpson. I felt like that was her character, and I only know about Jessica Simpson because I had a daughter who was old enough to listen to her at that time. But, but Kanye, I mean, this is really who he is now. And I think that's what he's always been. And now he's able to speak about it. And, perhaps his record label doesn't like it very much. But, you know, I mean, like touring with that choir, like, I mean, I get chills every time I hear that stuff. I got the new album a couple weeks ago, downloaded it to my phone, and I really dig it.
Yeah, there's some stuff floating around on Twitter that he went to a jail and he was performing at a jail.
Yeah.
And there were, you know, people praying and stuff like that. And I was like, Johnny Cash, holy moly. You know how Johnny Cash used to do that?
Oh, yeah. No,
Play at prisons. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, Kanye, no doubt. That's awesome. You know, so what you had asked, you know, what's going on. So the song for tonight, I basically kind of thought his creative energy was really cool. Like he talked about in some of his videos, he's been saying this term Christian innovator.
Okay.
And when he was saying, this is the way I interpreted it anyways, when he was like, we need Christian innovation. And I think I just kind of thought to myself, okay, you know, I have been in a certain lane musically lately where it's like singing choruses, maybe a little rap for like a 4 to 8 measure section and singing in the pre-chorus and singing in the bridge again.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, let me get a little more raw on the Christian track. And so I got back into a little bit of producing. So for this tune, I made the beat in like 30 minutes.
Nice.
And I wanted to see if I could do it like that. Like it was more of an exercise. I was like, all right, let me see if I can make this beat. Like, you know, let me not labor over it and overthink it. So yeah, I made the beat in 30 minutes, had it structured, and then put it down. And then the next day I knocked it out and then mixed it. And that's what it is for today. So that's what's going on today as far as musically, my response to the Kanye West musical style that we hear right now.
Awesome, dude. I'm excited to hear it. You know, and I don't know if I've actually heard a song that you fully produced, that you wrote everything that went into it. Because, I mean, I know...
Magacag.
Magacag was?
That's
okay.
The only one.
Okay. Because, you know, I mean, like nowadays there are so many musicians out there, and you've got like marketplaces where like, you know, one person will sell, you know, like, I don't know, like, you know, just the drum beat or something like that, you know, and then like it's basically you put together everything. Everybody works collaboratively. It's how my daughter did it too, you know. But I mean, like, it's amazing because you've got so many people out there who are so talented, and if it wasn't for this, you know, innovative technological way of making music that we have right now, people would never be able to bust out of the confines of whatever the boxes that they're in, you know?
I think where we are right now, as far as all that goes, like if you want to write a song or something,
yeah,
the sky is the limit. You are the limitation. And
yeah.
I also tell my wife this all the time about guys like you, Red Pill. My opinion, because I've had about 3 months to kind of monkey around with this with you, or maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
But like obviously I've thought a lot about like, why am I going on Red Pill? What's the deal? All this kind of stuff. And it has occurred to me that the content creators like you who have a following, you guys are kind of like the college radio DJs
yes.
of old.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, totally. I like that.
You guys have power to break artists. That's why this one popped in my head. I was like, wow.
And that's why I do it like this, you know? I mean, like, obviously we're friends and I respect your work, but I mean, like, I want to be able to help bring you to a larger audience, you know? I mean, like, I love that idea. You know, I did some college radio when I was in college. Even when I was even when I was in high school, there was like a contest where you had to write an essay and then make like a mixtape and then send it into the college station, and then they would choose you, you know, depending on, you know, who you were and, you know, whatever, if you wrote a good essay and you had good taste in music. So I won, you know, when I was a sophomore in high school, and I did like an hour on this college radio station, and it was like a dream come true, you know, like I took radio in college so that I could, you know, kind of fulfill that dream. But then I realized that it was very difficult. It was like right after that, they started like Clear Channel and those big companies, they started buying up all these little stations. And then basically they would have like one like solo station in Los Angeles and then pump it out to like every single station all across America. Real quick.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Real quick, I need to say thank you to, I said thank you to Sharon. Thank you to Dana Finkler. He says, hope all is well, bro. Keep up the good work. Yeah, definitely. I'm on the road right now because I don't have a bathroom. So things have been crazy for the last couple of weeks. But Quinte Guffrey says, cool with have you seen those new emojis that you can put into the Super Chats? Take a look next time. It's like they made this I don't know what it is. It's like their own cartoon character, and they'll have like it you know, it looks like a little moving emoji on your phone or something like that. So thank you, Quinte. Siren C3 says, love your show, man. Best in the business. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you for that. Dylan McConnell says, if Aim for Truth is the Jesuit network in America and let it slip on a leaked phone call, would you want to cover that? You know, I think that's pretty interesting. I'm not too familiar with Aim for Truth. I saw a couple of videos that they've done. Have you seen any Aim for Truth?
No.
It's another YouTube channel. You know, generally I try to stay away from exposing other YouTube channels just because, I don't know, I feel like professional courtesy, you know, like I would rather shoot for bigger moons, shall we say. You know, I want to talk about stuff on a national scale or, you know, even on a local scale. There's a couple of people I've met recently who are doing things on a local level that I'm trying to schedule to get on the show, but it's all a matter of timing. But Dylan, I mean, send me the information. I'd be interested to at least look at it. I think Aim for Truth has done good reporting in the past. Thank you for the super chat as well. And then Zoe Ferrier says, Red Pill, thanks for listening to me last night. Keep up the righteous fight. Much love. Hey, yeah, Zoe called into the show last night.
I remember.
Yeah, you were listening. So
I pondered on what she said yesterday.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it.
Well, Zoe, I wanted to call in yesterday. Did you say Zoe is in the chat?
Yes, yeah, Zoe's here.
Okay. What's up, Zoe? Thanks for being courageous and calling in yesterday. Yeah. I thought you were an inspiration. But like, you know, she was asking for practical advice.
Yeah.
You know, like life advice on how to do this. And so we've all had to work with that. We've all had to kind of try to wrap our heads around that. Like, so my thing is that what I have learned throughout this process of becoming a staunch conservative, willing to stand up against in the counterculture, is that the natural byproduct of taking a position is division. So there's no way around that. If I take a position, I eventually have to decide whether I'll speak up about my position in social settings, or whether I will be quiet about my position, or whether I will deny my position in a group setting. And so trying to wrap your head around, am I going to deny my position? In every setting, you're always wondering this, unless you have decided that you're going to stand for your position and be able to articulate why you've taken the position that you have. So that's what I say to you, Zoe. I'm sure you're already all ready to articulate why you have the beliefs that you are, why you stand where you are. But to be able to do that with gentleness and kindness, is a skill. And also, my wife and I talk about about this all the time. The Socratic method. If you just go into it with the Socratic method and ask questions and lead them along with questions and kindness and gentleness, then you will not burn a bridge and ruin a friendship.
I think that's great advice, Jason. I think that it's difficult to do only because many on the other side of the aisle, I'm not even going to say left, I guess people who are not on board the Trump train, if you challenge their ideas of what is correct and what's right, no matter how softly or how gently, a lot of people on that side of the aisle still have a real hard time coming and meeting you in the middle and even hearing what you have to say, because they've already made it up in their own minds that Trump is evil and incarnate. Somebody put in the chat, Maga Mel said, President Trump was hospitalized with chest pains. Now, I think I saw someone else say that he was already out of the hospital. I was just looking for information on it here on DuckDuckGo. I haven't seen anything. If anyone has any information that they can give to us about it, I would certainly appreciate that. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can make this a little... There we go. We're going to take up less space so that we can have more space for the chat. Well, it doesn't really make much sense. That doesn't do anything for it. Okay. But yeah, people in the chat, have you heard anything about this? He just went for a checkup. Okay, just went for a checkup. Okay, perhaps it was fake news. They were trying to scare us about it. And the other part of it is with approaching people about how you feel about this stuff. Sometimes I feel like you have to go in, you have to pick your insertion point.
Like, let's talk about when I red-pilled my mom, okay? I came in with her contention initially was, everyone says Trump is evil, okay? Trump is a bad person. Okay, well, how could he be a bad person if he was fighting for, all of these underclasses of people? How could he be a bad person if he's the first president to draw attention to the trafficking of minors and people in general, okay? And then I showed her the arrest records, all of these people who are being brought to justice. Does this look like the actions of an evil person? And the objective truth there is no. This does not look like the choices an evil man would make. Would an evil man choose to have his entire salary as president donated to, the Veterans Administration? Would an evil man choose to sacrifice his companies and his businesses, losing billions of dollars in the process? You look at every other politician, and these people, they come in, relatively modest, okay? If you want to call, over $100K a year modest, but in terms of politicians, that's a modest salary, because when they leave, they have, billions or millions of dollars. Oh, hold on a second. Q Phenomenon said something about someone hating me. Why would anybody hate me? Geezer Man says, why would anyone hate Red Pill 78? He's the cream of the crop. I don't know why anybody would hate me. I certainly don't put myself in a position to be hated. Pardon me. Let's talk about Roger Stone. What do you think about Roger Stone being convicted on all charges?
Dude, man, it was a mind bender for me a little bit. I was kind of like, what the heck? And I was like, because when he got stormed at his house, I was definitely a part of the camp that was like, you see, what measures is, you guys didn't have to bring all these troops and all this stuff to do this.
It was definitely overkill. Yeah.
But the idea that you presented yesterday, I think it was you or Linda, one of the two of you guys.
Yeah, it was me.
It was like, maybe it's a move on the chessboard.
Yes.
But that would mean that Roger Stone would have to be like down with it. He'd have to be like, okay. Or what do you think? Would he be complicit, or we think he would not know that he's a piece on the board?
I think Roger Stone is savvy enough to know that he's a piece on the board. In the same way that I think General Flynn is a piece on the board. I mean, we're not going to know probably ever like the full rationale for some of these things. But, I mean, at some point there's going to be enough of a disclosure, but we don't know. I honestly don't care for Amy Berman Jackson. Amy Berman Jackson is clearly someone who's just out to get President Trump or anyone who's associated with him. So the other thing that I was thinking was, what if the case was allowed to go forward before Judge Jackson to show her clear hatred and desire to destroy anyone associated with President Trump or in his circle.
Right. Then?
Well, then, I mean, maybe she could be removed from the bench. I mean, right now, we're going to go through some posts here. And recently the idea was put forward in these posts that this was this was a trap that was set for the Democrats. The idea of this whistle leaker, we'll say it. Actually, before we continue, guys, I wanted to ask if you guys would be so kind as to share this on your favorite social media platform. Also, don't forget to like and if you have not yet, please consider subscribing, both to myself and to Jason Was a Gentile. The link for Jason's YouTube is in the description. Oh, no, it's not there. I'm sorry, Jason. I copied it, but I didn't paste it into there. So let me get that in. So you guys can follow Jason Was a Gentile, of course. I always suggest that. He doesn't only do music. He also, you've been doing vlogs, you've been doing, you've got good stuff to say, man. I mean, it's like, I feel like we met because of the music, but then, our bond was strengthened due to what was in your heart, man. I absolutely love it.
I've always thought that.
Yeah.
For sure. Like the first time I ever talked to you on the phone.
Yeah, right? That was fun. I love that stuff.
Yeah, it was fun. That was like worthy of a book. Hey, man, you never know what the future's going to hold. I have this idea that, the Red Pill 78s and the Space Shot 76 and the McAllisters and the likes are, they are the, it's going to grow. In my opinion, it's going to grow. And,
I certainly hope so. Certainly hope so. Because I do, consider that this is we're going to have to take over at a certain point. I mean, there's going to be enough of an awakening that many people are probably going to turn on the mainstream media, or perhaps the mainstream media is going to be gutted from the inside out due to the removal of a particular intelligence agency. There's okay, here we go. So I needed to say thank you to Son of a Green Card. I heard she was the same judge that let Hillary off on Benghazi. Haven't had time to look it up yet. I know she's been involved with a lot of different things. And then Dana Finkler says, shout out to Methods and Mama Red Pill. Thank you for that, Dana. You guys, I've put the link for Jason's YouTube into the description box, but I also just added it into the chat there. So if you guys do feel so moved by Jason's message and by his music, please go ahead and subscribe to him. Also, you've got yourself a Twitter as well. It's JasonWasAGentile.
Yeah, I couldn't fit the A in there. But the function of the Twitter is basically just to post everything that is on the YouTube. Yeah. But there are times when sometimes I post stuff that the YouTube algorithms detect and block immediately that I'm able to get on Twitter.
Yes. Yeah. So you're talking about YouTube obscuring like whatever you've posted on the platform, but you put it on Twitter and then people can get the notifications because
my thought is that the audio and the video detection algorithms on Twitter and YouTube are different. Yeah, because they're owned by different people.
They definitely are. Yeah.
And so some of them are less stringent.
Fourth Watch Films signing out. Fourth Watch Films, if you've got some films you want to talk about, send me an email, redpill78@protonmail.com. You guys, I've had a couple of people recently sending me messages, and I feel like people have been hurt that I haven't responded to them. You guys, I love all of the messages that I get, but I get so many, it's very difficult for me to respond to the majority of them. Usually the time when I'm not editing and researching and producing, I have to spend that time scheduling for the live streams on the weekend. So I have a lot of correspondence back and forth with people who are going to be on the show. I've got some really great returning guests that are coming up and some brand new guests that I haven't had on the show yet. I am not going to say who, but I just wanted to ask that everyone continues to keep your eyes open. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, Jason, I do much the same thing. Every time I put a video out, I go and put it on Twitter, and then it's a link back to my YouTube because I think people get the notifications more often if they follow me on Twitter. So even if you don't go on Twitter to do anything but just follow me, I would appreciate it. Follow Jason too. But I do have a friend who is putting together a website for me right now, and I mentioned this like a week or so ago, and people sent me messages asking to get the inside scoop. It will have an email list, okay? So you will be able to put your email in, and then you'll get a notification by email every time I put a video out. But it's not ready yet. So if you've sent me a message asking to get on the list, I am sorry. You'll still need to go to the website once it's done, and then go ahead and add yourself to it. So let's go ahead and let's talk about these posts, man, because there were some really good posts that came up over the last couple days. First of all, I'm going to go all the way back to the 13th because this post came out later on in the day after I had already made my video. Let's see. So real quick. Peapod says, Stone was convicted of basically telling lies, and POTUS detests that. Well, I suppose you're right, And here's the thing, like I said last night, Roger Stone is an interesting guy, but I do think that his motivation is the pumping up of his own personal brand. He wanted POTUS to win so that he would get the credit for making Donald Trump president. Okay. Whereas
We wanted Donald Trump to win because we wanted him to drain the swamp. We wanted him to bring America back to a place of lawfulness and decency. And that's what's happening. And, I don't know that Roger Stone, everybody's free to do what they want in their own time, but I feel like Roger Stone has questionable morals, if you know what I'm saying.
I've always caught that vibe from Roger Stone. Yeah. I've always just caught this kind of I don't know, snaky vibe. I just felt like he had a slightly snaky vibe.
He's a snake. He's a bit of a snake, Yeah. But, it doesn't make him any less interesting. I like watching him speak, but I have to say, if he actually is allowed to go to prison, if President Trump does not pardon him or commute his sentence or something like that, then I think that there is more at play there. I know that people do go to prison, not in, for things that they've done or they've been railroaded. It's happened quite a bit over the last, couple of decades. But I think that there must be something more going on. So Peapod says, never trust a man in a fedora. Unless it's the meme on Reddit. M'lady. Okay.
Those guys in the fedora, they're so slick.
They are. They're so slick. Okay. So going back to the post, 3592, company co-founded by Nancy Pelosi's son was charged with securities fraud, and it says follow the family. So, this was back in 2014. All right. In my mind, this is just reinforcing the idea of this, corrupt nepotism that takes place in Washington, D.C. Not only D.C., but, places like Hollywood, places like the music industry. It's all about who you know. And if you are related to someone, you have a much better chance of succeeding. So what they'll do with the children of the politicians, they will set up these, complicated money laundering and fraud schemes. They'll enrich themselves, and even if they get caught, they're still going to probably get to keep, 80% of whatever it was that they stole over the length of time, because they have very, very good attorneys. They have very good accountants. A lot of this money just goes offshore, I would think.
Yeah, I would venture to say maybe not in every case, but when they're gonna make a move like that, if let's say not everyone, let's say 50% or 70, probably more than that.
Yeah,
80% of the people in the chat, me included, don't have a lawyer. Oh, he's my lawyer. She's my lawyer.
I don't have a lawyer.
He or she's my accountant. This is the person who handles the taxes. Most people don't have, someone where they bounce stuff off of, people that are professionals that are in their inner circle, right?
Yeah.
That inform them on decisions. So I would, Pelosi has one, of course.
Oh yeah.
And so when they're putting this stuff together, it's pretty likely that they're saying, okay, well, they talk to the accountant. What do you think the tax implications are for this? And they talk to the lawyer. Okay, if I do this and I get caught, what do you think will happen? Blah, blah, blah. And so they may calculate risks. Maybe not in all cases, but
Dawn just said, oh, hey, James Roback. I just saw James Roback's name. And Dr. B as well. Where is it? Dawn, if they say Roger Stone is guilty, that may say that makes Trump guilty too. Doesn't that worry anyone? Absolutely not. Guilt by association is not something that can get you convicted here in America. JP says, we must ask, does Brennan and Schiff have significant others in the energy field? It wouldn't surprise me. I think these people, they hedge their bets. I think Brennan has agents or had agents all over the world in every, business or industry, whatever it is. But getting back to the idea of guilt by association, just because Roger Stone lied to the feds about, whether or not he talked to WikiLeaks, I don't know what all of the charges are. That's the only one that I know. I think that it's a little disconcerting that they went after him to the degree that they did and that they were allowed to, because, we've got people in Washington, they lie about everything, on a daily basis. We had Adam Schiff lying in the halls of Congress, and it's not a crime because he was in Congress. That's something I'm not okay with. I think that, but of course, they're never going to change that
because it would be Congress that would change the laws, and Congress is not going to do something that's going to make it easier for them to be put in jail. Toots93X said, okay, and a bunch of hearts. Thank you for that, Toots. And Magamel says, Red Pill 78, when we running off to get married? I appreciate the offer. Thank you, Mel. And thank you for the super chat. Let's see. So Denise says the 2017 minimum pay for ambassadors is $124,406 a year. The maximum is $187,000. And Jovanovic, her net worth in 2019 was $6 million. Even if she's making, nearly $200,000 a year for 30 years, I mean, and she's living overseas, is everything paid for by the U.S. government? It seems like you would have quite a lot of expenses if you're living overseas. You're not owning your own car, right? Aren't you? You're probably leasing. Because if you have a car, you're just going to leave it in the States. Are they going to ship it across the ocean on like a tanker or something like that? You're probably going to be driving local cars so that you don't stand out like a sore thumb. You're going to be taking people out to dinner all the time because you're, an ambassador. I don't know. I don't know how this works, but $6 million net worth with, nearly $200,000 a year. What about all your personal expenses? I don't know if she has kids, but children are expensive. You've got a lot of expenses, and then you've got the cost of going to school, to get your degrees. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
The government pays.
I lived in Australia. Yeah. I lived in Australia for a couple of years, and when you were saying all that stuff, it was these images of what I had to do when I lived in Australia when I was living in another country. So. Depends on if they drive on the same side of the street. That's pretty tricky. Learning how to drive on the other side of the street.
Yeah, what was that like?
Weird. It gave me vertigo.
The wheel's on the other side too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're on the right-hand side, but then you're driving on the left-hand side. So you're still next to the line.
You're next to the line. Yeah. I also had a moped, and I turned. Took a left-hand turn into traffic because I turned into the right-hand lane. I was like, like there was a car right there. It was just that kind of stuff goes down when you're.
That's great. That's great. I've never been out of the United States. I guess I went to Mexico one time, but.
I think that totally counts.
Hold on just a second. Your BS about the hatred of Roger is making me remember why I was cautious of you. I don't have any hatred of Roger Stone. We're spitballing here, trying to determine, what's going on. If you like Roger Stone, that's great. But we don't have to have the same opinion on Roger Stone. I just already, did say that I think that it was, not cool that they went after him. He's looking at 50 years in prison. I don't think that's a good thing. But it makes me wonder, what is the larger game at play here? If we don't ask these questions, then I think we're doing ourselves a disservice.
Yeah, and the idea of a trap introduced by, Q drop as well. And the idea of game theory and the idea of, playing chess and, creating a trap is really some art of war or Chief Sun Tzu type stuff. Not everybody creates traps for each other.
Exactly.
It's not out of the question for Trump and his cabinet to be operating at a level to where there's definitely strategy and game theory going on between both parties. Once you start tuning in, it's like, oh yeah, for sure.
Right. And like I said, what if they allowed Amy Berman Jackson to convict him and they're going to be able to do, some additional move here now. They set a trap for her in the same way that they set a trap for the Democrats. Again, we're not going to know the answers to these questions right away. Deborah P. says, ISIS in Ukraine suspected links USA, Lumered. Our friend Laura. We're going to go happen to check it out. Let's see. Somebody, Laser Troll, this month's ACM news article outlines the Google Alphabet scrapes health info without consent. Yeah, I did see that. They've been doing that for quite some time now. Here, moving on from following the family, but again, it's just showing the way that they do their corrupt business. Post 3593, was the armor of God. We love that prayer. Do you want to go ahead and read that one?
I do. And just so you know, I looked up at the screen. I realized I was squinting. If anybody's wondering, I usually wear glasses, and I left them in the other room. So I'm squinting because I have to squint to see what it is I'm looking at. Can you just scroll up a little bit on that post, and then I'll hit it up.
There we go.
All right, here we go. And I'm so happy to be reading this to 2,000 people. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power, but put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, insinuating that you may not be able to without the armor. Mm-hmm. And after you have done everything to stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted in the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Prepare for God and country, for humanity. We fight Q.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Gives me chills every time. I love that our favorite Anon keeps posting this. And, anytime I think that he does, it's specifically because we're about to be going into battle, in a different way than what we've been all of these times. And then I posted again, double confirming the fact that this is important, when we stand firm in the armor of God, we are protected. And that's what we've got on our side. We've got righteousness on our side, as opposed to, the sins of the left. And they've created this world where God doesn't exist for all these people. And I think that life is extremely empty when you don't have God, when you don't have faith, when you don't put yourself into a position where you can stand firm knowing that whatever happens, you're going to be protected.
But knowing the word of God and having the Bible inside of you in a verse like this, you don't even necessarily have to know why this is laying it out for you. But when you're walking in obedience to what the Bible says, like, should I forgive my neighbor? Well, I don't want to forgive that person. This is the same with someone. Put on the armor. I don't necessarily know what the flaming arrows of the enemy are going to be or what that's going to look like. But if I just walk in obedience, then it's a natural path.
Yep.
And then these things happen all around you and you deflect all these things without even having the power yourself.
Yep. Okay. This next one, this is a big one here. 3595 Spygate. Who gave the orders and approved the spying on Donald Trump and Ted Cruz? Let's see. So Australia, Italy, UK, Co-op, the DOJ, Bar Durham, Class 1 through 4, HUMINT, the Human Intelligence, SIGINT, Signals Intelligence, etc. Non-Five Eyes official channel, U.S. senior persons required given sensitive nature of target regarding presidential nominees. So talking about when someone gave the order to spy on Ted Cruz and Donald Trump when they were running for president. Now,
that ain't cool, man.
No, it's not. Cool, man. Who gave the orders? Who signed? Papered per normal national security. Comms to and from foreign and domestic. F24. What does F24 stand for? Face-to-face. Oh, F2F. Face-to-face 1 through 4 U.S. persons initiate scope memo. So 4 people involved. U.S. Ambassador 1 and NSA unmasking required. NSA to U.S. Ambassador 1 and 2, Australia, Italy, UK. Special order per director. I think that would be John Brennan. Classification 1 through 9. Authorization unmask per U.S. Ambassador. Each unmasking requires approval, sign, key, Clowns in America, domestic assist with rogue FBI to avoid U.S. non-op domestic. I believe that's non-op, yeah. Clowns in America, human intelligence, domestic placement. So those are the plants put into the campaigns of Donald Trump and Ted Cruz. Trump campaign,
1 to 3 jumps primary target. Trump White House, spy insertion, national security, C, personal advisors, cabinet. So I think that there's additional spies in the Trump administration that we have not seen exposed yet. But I'm fairly certain that we're going to see them exposed. Now, Clowns in America organized under the Director of National Intelligence. 2010 to 2017, that was Clapper, bulk collection of information. 2017 to 2019, that was Coates, saying he was a sleeper agent, prevent black op release of incriminating docs. So we know that he stopped the release of all of those documents that President Trump, the D-class, Coates stopped the D-class. That happened a long time ago. Real quick, Lucille 27 Mayu Sparkle says, "Amen. God bless you both." Thank you for that, Lucille. And Sam Finley just gave a super chat. Sam, thank you for that super chat. We appreciate that. So, why am I red, James? I don't know what that means. But so moving on from this. Now, I mean, I think that the directive to plant spies in these campaigns, if it didn't come directly from Obama, I would think that he was involved in the decision to do that. That could have been direct from Brennan, because we know that the purported whistle leaker, who recently has had their name scrubbed from the internet, I've had several videos removed, that person was a Clowns in America agent. I think that these other people that we've been told were plants in President Trump's, sphere, they were also planted, in some capacity, whether it was with the Clowns in America, whether it was with another intelligence agency in another country. There's a lot of spies going on in the Trump campaign, and I'm really interested to see who was the ones in Ted Cruz's campaign.
I also talked to a fellow the other day that blew my mind. And I did refer to a person as a fellow. So he's a very interesting fellow. And, there are people also that are just associated with the CIA, apparently. And so there may be like a certain amount of agents or something. Oh, should I not say? Should I do clowns? Should I say clowns instead?
Clowns.
Okay.
I'm okay with agents, but you're good.
Okay, my bad. So, but there are also that money talks for sure, so, if you're there for a certain thing and then, you get approached and say, hey, here's a little bit of dough. Can you give me a little info? Yeah, for sure. So you're not hip to why the info is needed. So you're not really, you're more of a kind of like a outsider informant type of person, not necessarily an agent. Yeah. And so,
well, I think if you're not directly employed by the agency, then you would be considered an asset.
Oh, an asset. Okay,
yeah.
For sure. So most are assets, right? Like most people are assets.
Yeah. Those are the people that are approached by agents, and then they get handled by those agents. So right. the assets are told, either do what we say, or we're going to release this incriminating information about you. We're going to wreck your life. We're going to destroy your marriage, or we're going to put you in jail because you've done this illegal stuff. And they probably like it. I'm sure they enjoy it more when people themselves, the assets, are evil themselves, because then, maybe there's also some perverse pleasure that they derive from, acting on behalf of the clowns. But, or if that doesn't work, if there's nothing that they have on them, then they come to them and they say, we need you to do whatever it is so that you can save your country. What was that? Patrick O'Brien from Overstock.com? I'm sorry, I don't remember if it was O'Brien, but Patrick something or other from Overstock.com. That's what they did with him. They came to him and they said, you need to act on behalf of your country. Somebody says they don't see the super chat button, and it should just be when you go to type in some information, it should just pop up. You hit the $, and then it should be able to send it. Let me just make sure that they didn't completely demonetize the video. That would be very disconcerting, because we have not said anything. Yeah, they definitely demonetized it, but you should still be able to super chat, guys. I don't know what that's about. Maybe refresh your screen and give it a shout. So more important than ever, because we box to the right of the emojis. There you go. Box to the right of the emojis, someone says. Thank you very much. And if you're on a mobile device, guys, there's a slider. There's a slider that goes that you use to decide how much you want to go ahead and donate. So, going back to the traps that we were talking about earlier, it's a trap. Admiral Akbar. D's walking into a trap, 3596. What advantages might exist when you know the other side's playbook? Well, you could set a trap because you know exactly what they're going to do. I think that, and then we have the definition of a trap. We're going to go ahead and pull that up.
Oh, yes, let's do that. I love doing that. I love looking at the definitions. Q has blown my mind several times with these.
Let's listen to how to pronounce trap.
Oh, yes.
Trap.
It's so simple. I just love it, though. Okay, so a device for taking game or other animals, especially one that holds by springing shut suddenly. So, a position or situation from which it is difficult or impossible to escape. Also, a football play, that's not it. The act or instance of trapping the ball in soccer. A defensive maneuver in basketball. A device for hurling clay pigeons in the air. A piece of leather. I did not know that trap had all of these other definitions here, but I would have to say that it's definitely the situation in which it is difficult or impossible to escape from. And when it comes down to it, any of these people who are involved in court actions on the Trump side, people who are, unfortunately getting the sharp end of the stick when it comes down to the law here. I have faith that whatever the truth is about it, that they're either going to be vindicated, they're going to be made whole, or if they really are a bad person, then they're going to get what they deserve. So I can say with certainty, I believe that General Flynn is a good guy, and it would not surprise me if Roger Stone was a similar type of trap, as I believe they've set using General Flynn. But, when it comes down to it, in the end, we have to have faith that all is going to be revealed, because that's the only way that I can, survive in this world. I have to rely on my faith.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah. Grandpa C says, it's working. Thank you very much, Grandpa C. I appreciate that. Warwolf also, trusting God, living comfy, #winning. Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you don't have that trust and that faith in God, then life gets a little unwieldy. It's difficult. Donnie Darko, Red Pill 78. Elise Schurer says Donnie Darko. I love Donnie Darko. That was a big movie when I was a kid. I guess I wasn't a kid, but I was younger.
I had a lot of friends who were really big into the Donnie Darko scene.
Yeah. I mean, it's twisty. There's a lot of stuff going on. You got to watch it a couple of times in order to really get what's going on. But I love time travel. I love time travel as a trope in movies. So anytime they've got something along those lines, I guess science fiction in general. I like science fiction.
Yeah, I wrote this tune. I released it today. It's the what is it? Crap. Oh, it's the Yesterday. Well, yeah, I can say it for sure. It's a cover of the song Yesterday. Can't play it on your channel.
Yeah.
But I wrote it for us to sing in 2026. And so I wrote a song. It was Vic. Somebody wrote in the comments, said Looking Glass. And I was like, yeah, I wrote a song for the future.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so cool. That is so cool. All right. So going to post 3597. We Are the News. Anons knew back in July that Sarah Carter and John Solomon were monitored. Here is another proof. Future proves past. And we have a Twitter status. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, Elise says specifically there are connections to our favorite Anon in Donnie Darko. Okay, I'll try to watch Donnie Darko tomorrow. All right, so we have a meme here showing, the post that actually was just reposted the other day about SC and JS, and then it looks like Tom Fitton put a tweet out yesterday, and it names John Solomon Reports and Sarah Carter as specifically being targeted. The person that was doing the spying was Yovanovitch, the former Ukrainian ambassador. She was the one that was actually headlining the monitoring of these journalists in Ukraine. So we had, I guess, Jack Posobiec was on the list. Donald Trump Jr. was on the list. Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, Michael McFaul, Dan Bongino, Ryan Saavedra, Rudy Giuliani, Sebastian Gorka, John Solomon, Lou Dobbs, Pamela Geller, and Sarah Carter. Wow, there's a couple of surprising names on that list.
Mm-hmm. I love that heat that John Solomon drops.
Yes, he's great. I absolutely love John Solomon. He does great work.
I just saw someone in the chat say, "What, the White Rabbit?" Pretty funny.
So our favorite Anon says, do you believe in coincidences? Mathematically impossible. Date the public became aware. Date Anons became aware. This was a long time ago. I put the proof away, but that was last year. You know, I mean, like, we've known about this for a long time. And Tom Fitton, you know, big gun Tom Fitton just clarified it for us, letting everybody know.
How does he fit into those dress shirts, man? I don't know how he does that.
Dude, all of them are stretchy, you know? I mean, like, okay. He has to grease up before he can put the shirts on.
He's like,
yeah. So, reconcile. Do you think we are targeted and attacked by the largest media companies in the world because we're a LARP? Logical thinking. Well, you know, that speaks for itself. Obviously, it's not a LARP. They are targeted because they have real intel actually connected to the president, actually putting out good things and informing us of all of these things well ahead of the regularly scheduled release to the public.
The Q drops from old they make me skate through stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm skating through the hearings. I literally in my mind mentally, dude, I'm skating through the hearings. I skated through the witch hunt. I skated through everything because I already knew what was going to happen.
Yep, exactly. We don't need to be informed by the mainstream media. We've already known what's coming. So, post 3598, Q informed Anons about whistleblower traps back in March of 2018. Stormy Patriot 21, let's look at that tweet. Future proves past. So, back on March 4th of 2018, Operation Fiddler and Russian Link. Expand your thinking. Who leaked Vault 7 to WL? That would have been Edward Snowden. Who returned fire? Operation name, Fiddler. At Snowden. Mission 1, infiltrate. Mission 2, centralize. Mission 3, secure. Mission 4, expose to harm. Date, White House interference, White House directive, Mission 5, Russia link, 2013, timeline of events, 11714. Think, learn, Mission 6, Fiddler, Ghost Prime, Mission 7, classified, Mission 8, whistleblower traps, right there. All right, so they knew back then that they needed to set the traps. And trap keyword select provided, whole or parts, break, you have more than you know, future proves past. You know, it's too bad that we don't have more time in the day to go back and just read this stuff. Real quick, I need to say, Q Phenomenon, a lot of folks are talking about Looking Glass. If you do a call-in, I will be glad to help. I have Zoom also. Yes, Phenomenon, we are doing a call-in here in just a little bit. So if you want to give a little added information about Looking Glass, that's totally cool. Gino Haddad says, keep up the great work, RP. Thank you both for those super chats. Appreciate that. So post 3599, the harvest crop has been prepared and soon will be delivered to the public for consumption. That means that the information is about to drop. A higher loyalty with Y in the kill box. Higher loyalty, that is Comey's book. Hunters become the hunted. Treason, sedition. How do you remove a liability? 6 o'clock can be dangerous. That means watch out behind you, the hunters. Family proud. This is a post that made me jump for joy when I saw it. Because I really, I've said it, for a while now. We're in the end game, you guys. This is it. We are approaching the point at which everything is going to have the lid taken off of it, and it's going to be undeniable. These people are not going to be able to keep their heads buried in the sand.
Brace yourself. The storm is coming.
That's right. Batten down the hatches.
Yeah, and hey, by the way, for just in this show from here on out, whenever Red Pill gets a super chat, when he reads it out, then I'm going to sing super chat.
Oh, sweet. You guys. Yeah, so next super chat, we're going to get singing. And then the next post, for those who decide to save the taxpayers some money, there is no escaping God. This is a direct message to Congress because funding for the government, funding for the military, that stuff's on the table. It expires next week, and they're not paying attention to the things they ought to be paying attention to because they're so wrapped up in the idea of removing Donald Trump from office. Let's see. So here we go. Moving on to the next one. Many who represent us do not love us. Let's go ahead and take a look at that.
That's kind of sobering, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yes. This is from that ceremony when Michelle looked at Barry and said, all this for a flag. It's really difficult to understand that someone who is representing our country, you know, like the president and the first lady, denigrating the country, denigrating our flag. Like, it's incredible to me that we were able to get to that point, okay, that someone could be placed in office with that type of attitude about America and about, you know, the things that we hold so dear. You know, how far have we come, dude? Like, we were on the brink of losing our country, and now we are back. All right, so Jason, we've got 2 super chats. One of them from Joey Lask DC NPC. It's just one of those cool emojis. Thank you for that, buddy. Appreciate it. But vote Trump 2020. You can go ahead and sing that one.
Thank you for the super chat. Vote Trump 2020 and Joey.
She says, love the show tonight. Thank you for that. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Jude, James Comey tweet has Y in it. Oh, James Comey's tweet today. Let's go ahead and take a look at Comey.
Thank you for the super chat.
Look at Comey. There we are. What? Why did it go to Colin Kaepernick?
Oh, I'm just so over Colin Kaepernick. I just can't barely take it anymore.
I haven't heard anything about him for a while.
Yeah, glad.
Reread Q drop number 6. Okay. You can't promote principled anti-corruption action without angering corrupt people. George P. Kent, Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, November 14th, 2019. Okay. Let's go take a look at that again. Higher loyalty. Why? So I wonder if this Comey is communicating with Q-Team. 1:13 p.m. This was at 8:25 p.m. November 15th. November 16th. Okay, so this, Comey tweeted this out on the 15th, and then our favorite Anon put this out today.
Was that a threat?
So I think, well, I mean, this is a direct connection to Comey's tweet, so maybe Comey is going to be the first on the chopping block. You know, we've got the IG report coming out, and somebody says, diplomatic pouch, I think the Q is referencing to suicide as far as saving the taxpayers' money. That's a good one. Okay. For those who decide to save the taxpayers some money, there is no escaping God. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. If they decide to take the suicide weekend route rather than forcing us to spend the money to put them on trial, it doesn't matter. They're still going to have to face God. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let's see. Post 3602. How do select bad actors attempt comms without signals intelligence collection? Rebellion or Empire? Private, invite-only factions? Dark to light? This is a link to a Star Wars game. In Star Wars Commander, you choose to fight for the Rebellion or the Empire. Train your troops, build units and vehicles, defend your base, complete story missions, level up your heroes and vehicles, battle on different worlds, and team up with friends. Join with or take on iconic characters like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and utilize or destroy AT-ATs, speeder bikes, Wookiee warriors, and stormtroopers. Whether the Empire spreads tyranny or the rebels restore freedom is up to you. Star Wars Commander is now available for iOS. So, I mean, saying something about sending a message without signals intelligence collection. How do select bad actors attempt comms without SIG-int collection? Rebellion or Empire? Private, invite-only factions. So, was there maybe some like testing of this? Anybody got any information on this? Space Shot, what's up, brother? Glad you're here. A DM from Palpatine's Revenge. Hold on, let me get in here. Oh, yeah. I saw these messages, Space Shot, previously. Space Shot, why don't you call in here, dude, and let's talk about this real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, so Space Shot, I'm going to send you the Zoom link, but because I want you to call in first. But before we do that, we have to hear the new song from Jason Was a Gentile.
Okay, well, I have to make it public because I wanted it to be a debut, like an actual debut.
Cool. And then send it to me here in the chat. Actually, here, Space Shot, while he's doing that, I'm going to get you the invite. Copy URL. Are you on your phone, Space Shot, or are you going to be on your computer? Because let me do this so that I can send it directly to you on your phone. Very interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about this, Space Shot.
And Space Shot, you're so cool.
Yeah, dude.
Who doesn't want to talk to you? You're great. I just think he's the greatest.
He is. He certainly is.
Oops, remove any web addresses and try again.
Oh, no. You got to put, not into the live chat.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you have to put it into the Zoom chat.
Into the Zoom. I'm using Zoom on my phone.
Oh, you're on your phone.
What if should I email it to you? Or
yeah, you can
DM
email. You can you send it. Well, you can't do it on your computer because
I can do it on Twitter through the DM.
Okay, do it on Twitter through DM. Private game chat. Private game chat. Okay.
You are now listening to the Corruption Detector. I am here with your Red Pill News. Thank you, everyone, and good night, and God bless. I love that stuff, dude.
I'm glad you like it, man. Somebody in the chat, some jerk, said that I had the worst intro in all of YouTube. I was like, that's a little harsh, bruh.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Let's see your intro.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, so write me a better intro.
I just DM'd you on the Twit.
I'm pulling it up. Okay, everyone, we should be back online, you guys. We should be back online. My streaming software quit unexpectedly. I need to fix this. Everything is reset. Okay, look, it's back. I can see it on the TV screen. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. Everyone's back. Everyone's back. Should be back. Okay, so let me open up the video. Okay. All right, guys, thank you for your patience. Here we go. New video from Jason Was a Gentile.
Culture. Create something you can vibe to. And give the glory to my God, though. Fully God and fully man, part of the Trinity. The internet is really just a sidewalk. And people pass by every day. We preach the gospel, standing on the corner. Plant seeds and we hope that it takes. And we hope that it takes. And we hope that it takes. Without Jesus, all hope is lost. If it wasn't for the cross. Ooh, it's cool to be Christian, talking to God and knowing He listens. Ooh, it's cool to be Christ-like. We bow while He gets the limelight. I ain't got no fear of cancel culture. Knowing He listens. Ooh, it's cool to be Christ-like. Like He gets the limelight. Are you picking up my vibe yet? Speak truth, switch it up. A song is really just a letter. It can serve God or it can serve the enemy. I used to be a thief, I used to be a liar. Used to have a back row seat to the I bet that you can fill in the blank. We rappers as role models, we rap cause we think. We rap cause we think. We rap cause we think. Jesus is a parachute that'll take you up instead of. Ooh, it's cool to be Christian, talking to God and knowing He listens. Ooh, it's cool to be Christ-like. We bow while He gets the limelight. I ain't got no fear of cancel culture. Knowing He listens. Ooh, it's cool to be Christ-like. Like He gets the limelight. Jesus is the only way to salvation. Heaven on the right and hell to the left. Tell me which gate will you take?
Excellent. Another banger from Jason Was a Gentile. Love it, dude. Absolutely love it.
Glad you like it. And I just want to say I watched all the reactions in the chat and I took a risk with this musically. So I expected some people to not be really feeling the sound because I was going for a different sound than usual. So that's all right. But I want you guys to know that when you're doing anything creative or anything like that, sometimes you want to, you know, switch it up a little bit creatively. And when you do that, not everyone's going to be, you know, into it. But I think we should all perceive art as a creative endeavor and really think more about the message.
Absolutely. And you're putting yourself out there, you know? I mean, people have to have a little bit of bravery to get out there and show their talents and you know, everything they want to try out. Anytime a musician changes their sound in any fashion, people freak out. You know, it's like, this isn't what I was expecting, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Space Shot, are you going to jump into this call here, buddy? I want to get you in here to talk about this Palpatine's Revenge. Palpatine's Revenge. I'm going to send you an email because I already sent you. Oh, there he is. He's here. Space Shot.
What's up, brother?
Hey, thank you for joining us. How are you, my friend?
How you guys doing tonight?
Excellent.
Space Shot up in the booth. I bet you didn't know that I was up in the booth.
What's up? Love that little last jam. Quite catchy, sir. Good job.
Glad you like it. Been watching your channel a lot. You're crushing it.
Well, busy the last couple of days for sure.
Absolutely. Dude, I got a notification at 3:04 a.m. last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some people say, oh, well, I heard you say in the video it's Friday, but I didn't get the upload till Saturday. I'm like, well, I fell asleep.
Not the first time.
Oh, definitely not. It's been many a time for sure.
So tell us about these this DM. Are these new DMs from Palpatine's Revenge?
No, these are quite old. Now, I do want to give props to RDoc who had showed this now, because when I saw these Q drops come in, and, they were talking about, now apparently I'm not really big into Star Wars. I'm like, I'm 43, so I'm, Star Wars 4, 5, and 6, which are really the first ones that got released. So I know those, but I don't know any of the new characters, whatever. But apparently some of these names in here are Star Wars. So I found that link to be quite poignant. And these people are all talking basically about setting up President Trump, setting up General Flynn, etc. And, of course, we do know about the previous drops that they had about, what was it, Xbox? Let me see.
Yeah, the private comms on Xbox, yeah.
Exactly. So it was a day after that Xbox went down, because Q had posted text emails, Gmail, drafts, Gmail, ham comms, PS, and Xbox chat logs. So they definitely play games, or play games just to get their messages out to each other, apparently.
Yeah, so it looks like there must have been some special comms that they caught specifically in this game. I've never played the game, so I don't know that you can chat with people in there, but I do remember this Palpatine's Revenge. When I saw that name, George Soros always reminded me of Emperor Palpatine.
You never know, right? Yeah, I mean, for sure, creepy, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty interesting though too. Like, if you notice, that last one that I read was from August of 2018.
Yep.
And it talks about the text and the emails and the Gmail, and then Q went out of his way to say Gmail drafts, which I guess I've seen in a few spy movies. What they do is, say me and you will have the same email address.
Yep. And
rather than sending a text or an email across the world, I'll go in and make a draft, and then I'll just save it as a draft and leave it, never send it. Then you'll be able to log in, across the planet, log in and check your draft and edit it and save it. And thereby you're never really actually sending a message. So it's pretty smart.
Yeah.
But they're onto it for the last 10 years anyway.
Yep. I remember that. I do remember that. Okay. Well, you guys, we're going to be opening up the phones now. Let me put the Zoom meeting link in first. We're going to do just the direct link for people to join us with the Zoom app. I'm going to send that out. I've put this in the description. I've put the Zoom meeting link, and I've put the phone number to call in the description of this video. If you guys if you don't see it, go ahead and refresh your screen. It will be there. Need to do a couple of quick thank yous. First of all, Let's see. Going with Lynn Little. Love your shows, RP78. Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, no. We're going back a little farther. Go to Grandpa C. Gino Haddad. Keep up the great work, RP. We have the Joey. Thank you for that, Joey. Minutemen72 and Toots93X. Hello. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Minutemen72 and Toots. Oh, yeah. Gotta mute your audio.
Hey, Red Pill.
Yep.
Just so you're aware, there's a little spot in there that makes it so everybody's muted upon arrival. And then you can change it so they can either unmute themselves or they're not able to. And I actually went and bought the pro version today because I didn't know that 3 or more people, they give you a time limit. I'm like, why is this ticker ticking down now?
Yeah, no, I pay for it so that everybody else doesn't have to. Ricky P says, it sucks that I'm late to my favorite show. All 3 of you, keep it up. Dawn, thank you for that. Thank you, Ricky. Everyone, please, if you're calling in, go ahead and mute your audio on that end on the show. Aaron, how are you, Aaron? Aaron, you're muted. Go ahead and unmute.
Hello, I'm doing great. How are you today?
Excellent. Thank you for joining us once again, Aaron. Did you have a question for Jason or Space Shot?
Well, I just enjoying the show, and I love the information that you have. I think a lot of people are talking about this project Looking Glass.
Yeah.
And I wonder if I have a guest idea for you.
Okay.
Someone that I want to interview on my show too, as well, Andrew Basaggio.
I would love to interview Andrew. Someone messaged me recently and said that they had sent him a message on Facebook. I don't know how to get a hold of Andrew, but he's somebody that I've been wanting to speak with for many years.
Message him on Facebook. I've had lengthy chats with him on Facebook, and he's just a really super nice guy. And he's been talking truth for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
The defense research community perfected 8 different modalities of time travel by 1970.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
He chronicles each one. So it's very, very interesting.
All right. Yeah, the only problem is I don't have Facebook, so I can't message him there. But if anybody has Facebook and they want to help me get in touch with Andrew Basaggio, you can send him to my email, redpill78@protonmail.com. I would absolutely love to speak with him and have him on the show. So, Aaron, you said you've got your own show. Is that on YouTube?
Well, I have a show on Blog Talk Radio.
Okay.
And I've had it for many years. And the reason I did it was because I had questions. I saw a UFO in 1996. It was definitely a UFO, broad daylight, and it changed my world. It just completely changed my world. And so I started the show because I wanted to ask the questions that nobody else was asking. And I finally got the answer, and it just blew me away to the point where I stopped doing shows because I was like, kind of freaking out from all the truth.
Yeah.
And so haven't done a show in a while, but I used to do lots of shows. I had some really good guests on. Stan Romanek and his wife.
Yeah. Familiar with him?
Very nice folks. He got, of course, railroaded by the system.
Yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
But he says the same thing that the people like Corey Good are saying now, you know. So same message, different messenger.
Good stuff.
Hey, Aaron, same thing happened to me. In kind of the same thing with 9/11, but shortly after that, around the same time, no drugs, no drinking, got off the road. 3 weeks on the road. My buddy picked me up, dropped me off at my house, and we saw this burst of the bluest, brightest light you've ever seen in your life come over the house. And 2 of us, not being one of them, said that there was actually windows in this thing, and that thing just tripped me out, and right down the rabbit hole from there.
Oh wow. Is that what you saw, Aaron?
This is exactly what I saw in 1996 over Chippewa Falls, and it was darting at right angles, back and forth, stopping, and I stopped my car. I got out of my car. It was clear in the afternoon, and I grabbed my video camera and I hit it was a Sony Handycam. I hit the record button with my thumb. It powered up and then powered down. Didn't give even one frame.
I've heard of that happening to people before.
And then it zoomed off. It never took a charge. So I had to get a new battery after that. And it was working perfectly right before. So then, of course, my kids didn't believe me until my daughter and I saw one here in Sturgeon Bay in Door County, Wisconsin. Several years ago already now, over the YMCA. It was two giant lights that joined each other and pulsed, and we got like four pictures of it, and two different cars stopped. So that she was like, "Oh my God, Dad, I can't believe I saw a UFO. I can't believe I saw a UFO. I'll never disbelieve you again, Dad." And then a week later she says, "Dad, don't ever tell anybody I saw that." Because of the pressure.
Of course. Yeah. It's, I mean, you see something that just completely rocks your worldview, gives you a new frame of reference, and it can be a very scary thing, I mean, I always tell people, unidentified, it's unidentified. We don't know what we're seeing, but clearly there is something there, some type of phenomena that we haven't been able to identify. I think that the easiest explanation is that our own government has technology that they haven't disclosed to us. You think, we're looking at maybe technology that's 30 to 50 years behind whatever the government has. But I have a very interesting guest I'm hoping to get on the show. Justin Falk, I believe his name is, did a documentary that is dealing with some declassified documents. And it says basically that the UFOs and the things that people are seeing that are supposed to be interstellar are actually interdimensional. It's something totally different. So a different phenomenon. I've speculated it here on the program before, but this is some really, really compelling data that's coming forward. Well, listen, Aaron, we've got a lot of people that are waiting on the screen now, buddy. So thank you for calling in, and I'm sure we'll see you next week.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. Great show.
Yep. Appreciate it, bud. We'll talk to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, coming up next, I believe that it was phone number ending 3872. I am unmuting you now. Caller, are you there? I can hear a clicking, but no audio. Caller, 3872. All right.
Hi.
Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, what's your name?
Hi, guys. Serena.
Serena?
I'm in Hudsonville, Michigan. Yeah, and thank you so much for having me on, and I appreciate all you're doing, Redfill. Pretty awesome show. Anyways, and your music's great, Jason. Don't ever apologize for anything you do different.
Oh, thank you.
Still there.
Yes, I'm there.
You're
you
welcome.
are the best. You are the best.
Thanks, buddy. Anyways, I'm just because you were talking about UFOs, it reminded me of my brother's house. He had one night some light in his backyard, and they didn't really pay attention to it. And he goes out there the next day, and there's a big giant ring burned into his ground.
Wow.
Giant. In the whole backyard. And my nephew, his son, said after that he started seeing owls. He was a little kid. And then he would get scared, and he'd run into his parents' bedroom and sleep with them that night. So, they say a lot of times that kids see owls, which maybe are those big-eyed aliens.
I've heard that before.
Kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, owls tend to go along with it. Yeah.
Yeah, really weird. So all of us are kind of big believers in all that. But why I called was I've been seeing these things on Facebook where people are going to libraries to bring their kids to be read to, and there's these drag queens, and they're so disgusting how they are with the children, and I don't understand how any public library would allow that to small children. I don't know if it's going on anywhere in your areas where anybody lives, but I just want to know if we can come together as a community. These are public places, yes, but that there should be a standard of decency, and especially with children, to have to be exposed to that disgusting portrayal of their sexuality. It's nowhere where children should be allowed,
I tend to agree with you.
Your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And The thing is that, I mean, this is just more of that programming. They are trying to change society. They're trying to, remove Judeo-Christian values from society. And, I think they're, in the end, they're trying to destroy men and women and the family unit. Jason, did you want to comment?
I 100% agree. 100% concur. And we have to, as the the cultural protectors in our country, we can't be on the fence about that. And I'm glad that you're calling and speaking up about it. And it's okay for us to, speak about it in our communities. And at the end of the day, it's our job as parents to teach our children how to survive and thrive in the environment. And, there's data that type of behavior is not conducive to surviving and thriving.
No, it's not. I think it's confusing, but I mean, again, I think that is their agenda. They want to confuse children, and, I think it all comes down to whatever the sick goal that they have, for society. It makes it a lot easier if they can destroy. I mean, we know about MKUltra, mind control programming. They learned a long time ago that if they got to a child young enough, that it was far easier to control them and to make them into whoever it was that they wanted them to be.
Mm-hmm. Sure, they rob them of their innocence.
Yes, exactly. Well, Sabrina, thank you for calling in. We've got 6 other people I got to jump to, so I hope that we will talk to you next time.
Thank
Okay?
you. Yes, have a good night.
You too. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Hey, brother,
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna pop out. I gotta do a little prep for the show. We're gonna be piggybacking after your show.
Oh, nice.
Doing the live cast. So I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
As always, I love jumping in with you guys. We have, because I think our communities definitely overlap hugely.
Oh.
We have the best community going on the planet. So
Definitely.
I appreciate it, sir.
Definitely. And you guys don't forget, at 11 o'clock when we end the broadcast, hop on over to Space Shot 76. Thanks for joining us, Space Shot. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, brother. And Jason, have a good one as well. Peace out.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, up next is Rob. Rob, thank you for waiting patiently. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good, man. What's going on?
Outstanding. I wanted to tell you guys that the the Star Wars comments that they're placing up are reference to the Rogue Saber reports that were placed up on scribed.com. Jason was a Gentile. Outstanding work, brother. Good to hear from you again, as always. And like I said, the Rogue Saber reports are what they're referring you guys to. Harvested is the first report, and Operation Education is the second report.
Awesome.
I'll check 2 more after that, but yeah, take a look at those guys. So they're pointing you to.
I'll check that out for sure, and then we'll see if we can do a little segment on it.
Roger that. Out here, brothers. Have a good night.
All right, Rob. Peace, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Rock on, Rob.
Bye-bye. All right, up next was Debbie Peters. How are you, Debbie?
Hey. Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you just fine, Debbie.
Okay.
What's going on? Thanks for calling.
Not much. So Jason, your new song was awesome.
Thanks.
And also Red Pill last week, I was the one that called in about being diagnosed with the cerebral spinal fluid stuff.
Yes. What's going on?
I went to the hospital, got a lumbar puncture. They drained some of the fluid, and I'm feeling much better. So
Good.
that's good.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thanks. Also, I was the one who sent in the article about Laura Loomer's post, and it only let me put in 50 characters.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you actually looked it up, but the whole title for the article is insane.
I haven't had a chance yet, but what I'm going to do is see if I'm just going to go to loomer.com.
I have it pulled up here. It's a high-profile kidnapping ISIS leader arrested in Ukraine. Bust, suspected links to Yovanovitch, Biden, Kerry, Pelosi, and Romney.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring that up because you have a big audience, and I think it's a really important article, and I trust Laura to not put out stuff that's not trustworthy,
She does some good work for sure. I really enjoyed Laura when she was on the program.
So did I. She was fantastic.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Okay.
You know, just real quick on the cerebrospinal fluid thing, I knew somebody who I think that they must have had like a puncture of their whatever that membrane is around the brain, and cerebrospinal fluid used to come pouring out of their nose.
Yep.
Did that happen to you?
No, mine's the opposite of that. So what I have is called idiopathic intracranial hypertension, and what the person that you know, what theirs is called is idiopathic intracranial hypotension, where it's too low, and mine's too high. So yeah, it's same place, different effects.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're doing better.
Thank you so much, and you guys have a great night.
Oh, you do the same. We'll talk to you soon, Debbie.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye, Debbie.
All right. So coming up next is Southern Rebel and then Phenomenon. Southern Rebel, we've got you. Go ahead and unmute. There you go, buddy. What's going on?
Hey there. How are you guys?
Excellent. Thank you for calling.
Awesome.
Oh, Jason, great song. You do awesome work. Thanks for coordinating all the songs you guys get together and do. They rock big time.
He's a talent.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching the last one tick down on the LSU ball game. We won. Yay. It's been a nail biter. I've been here watching y'all, listening, and chewing off some fingernails. It got a little close there, but ended up pretty good. 58-37, so not bad.
Good stuff.
Yeah. No, the reason I called is I was going to tell you, look back at Comey's tweet where he has all the Star Wars toys laying around.
Oh, yeah. Good thinking. Yeah. That's right.
I think he was telling them to go to that website because I think all their other comms have been disrupted. But I'm going to say this, and it's not going to be very popular, and I don't even think I won't even go there, but I'm just going to say it because Enoch put out a tweet this afternoon after the post.
Yep.
And mentioned that from what she's seeing, or he, I don't know, Enoch is.
Yeah.
But that Comey may be I'm going to air quotes, white hat, communicating with the Q team.
I think if anything, maybe he flipped.
Well, letting them know where they're going. I'm not there. I've heard other people mention it, but I'm not ready to think that because I hate that tall stack of, you know what?
Yeah, I'm not ready for it either.
Yeah, I'm not ready to go there. I mean, you know, we've heard and people have said, you know, we may be surprised in the end. You know, someone may come out we may hate.
Right.
Or I'm not going to say hate. That's a strong, yeah.
You know, don't care for. You know, here's the thing is I saw somebody say something about Comey being a gray hat. Obviously on the program, I've speculated that maybe Rod Rosenstein, maybe Robert Mueller. You know, I think these people are smart enough to know when their goose is cooked. So if it's more advantageous for them to give information on the people that they once, you know, were serving, I can see that happening. But you know, I would say it's possible that Comey could be a gray hat just because I think that if it was necessary for him to flip on whoever he was serving previously in order to save his own skin, I definitely would see that happening.
Yeah, on the Rosenstein and Mueller issue.
Yeah.
Go back and read. I can't remember the post number, but it talks about Manafort in it. It's an old post talking about Manafort being a plant. And
yes.
It asks, why is Mueller, I think it says REM, only investigating plants. So, yeah. I think Mueller and Rosenstein have been working on our side and more or less for Mueller, as Q said, to save himself. That's also in a post that he's trying to save himself, but he will be held accountable for Uranium One, as you told us.
Yes.
But, yeah, that's not a popular thought with a lot of people, but from the evidence that I've found and in my research and the research team I'm with, that's what we've kind of come up with, and we've been there for quite a while. So just
Awesome.
say.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, Southern Rebel. We're going to go on to the next caller, but we'll talk to you next weekend, right?
Yeah, thanks, guys. You do a great job.
Thank
Love
you so
back.
much. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Phenomenon, but I first have to do a couple of thank yous. Let's see. Tanette Booth said, I caught a UFO on video. Tanette, I would love to see that. A Pool says, UFO showed up to Psytrance show we did in the Ozarks one time. It quite literally danced around while this one guy played and left when he finished his set. Artist was Exo Chill Pill, ancient god of dance and harvest. I probably said that wrong. But thank you for those super chats. Also, Anti-Millennial 1986 says, Michael Kenny showed me RPN. Love it. Thank you. Where we go, one, we go all. Michael Kenny is a longtime viewer of the show, so thank you, Michael, for spreading the word. Q Phenomenon. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I am great, but there's also another guy with a screen name that's actually cute. I'm just Phenomenon.
Oh, you're just Phenomenon. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
By the way, timing is everything. I got to give a shout out to Tanette. Man, we're chat buddies. We hang out everywhere. Tanette Booth had just commented. I'd be glad to do like a little quick overview of the looking glass thing that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, please go for it.
Okay, well, I want to say I've been trying to get a hold of you too because of the class action. As of December 10th, all the rules are going to change with Google, and we're going to do it. We're already doing a class action thing, and I need to get with you with that.
Okay. The reason things have been so crazy for me lately is because my bathroom is being built, and I'm still working like my normal schedule, but it's half the time I'm not at my house when I do it. So I've got about 400 emails that I have on a backlog, and that doesn't even count. That doesn't even count Twitter. I just haven't been able to read my Twitter messages for several weeks. So. But yeah, the whole and I haven't been able to get on any calls because anytime that the calls are taking place, it's in the middle of my production schedule. So, we can talk off the air. But go ahead, tell us about Project Looking Glass.
Okay, as far as I know, somebody else I just was listening to the other day did a little bit better job than I will probably do. Not to mention my voice is hoarse. Mm-hmm. But Project Looking Glass was something I believe it started in Montauk, New York. In the 1980 something, and apparently moved out to Area 2 or Area 4, whatever, right near Area 51. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the same remote viewing people, but they're doing a thing. They found this alien chair. Okay, I'm just gonna throw it out there. This is my understanding of what other people say. They found this like little alien chair from a spaceship, and they put people in it, and they can look into other times and other places. And Q brought it up the other day is the only reason I'm even bringing it up, and other people have asked about it in the chat tonight. You can't just go shooting through there and travel through time and do everything else. It's like very, the timeline is fluid. The timeline is fluid. If you go in there, it might change. It's just a way to kind of peek into what might happen. So I wanted to keep that short. So if there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
All right. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. I definitely want to do a larger show on Project Looking Glass. Somebody mentioned, that I should talk to Carrie Cassidy. I'd love to talk to Carrie Cassidy. I'll definitely be trying to get in touch with her. But I like the clarification too. I mean, looking glass, the idea of a looking glass does, call to mind the idea of just kind of peering into the future or peering into possible timelines of what may happen. But if I remember correctly from the video that Thomas and I were looking at, the interview with Carrie and that guy, the idea was that after a certain date in 2012, it didn't matter. Was it that they were unable to continue to look forward?
From what I understand, now that it's past 2012, things have somewhat changed, and the technology has gotten better. We've got a better understanding of the technology now.
Okay.
But that was the original thing. They couldn't see past 2012. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. Well, Phenomenon, thank you for calling in, my friend. I do appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Yeah, bye-bye. Coming up next is Alexandria Occasional Cortex. Alexandria, I love your picture.
Oh, why thanks. Did you zoom in on the mouth?
I can't zoom in on it, but I love how intense she looks.
Well, good to talk to you all. And I just want to talk about something I've been seeing everywhere, and that's 22, the number 22. And in a lot of timestamps, and when we were looking forward to obviously November 11th, which is very significant. 11 and 11, of course, are 22.
Oh, yeah.
And so that first one on that day was /DE capital C, which could mean December 3rd,
Right.
C being the third letter of the alphabet, obviously, easy one.
Yeah.
But that was posted. What was the timestamp on that? 22. And then when it got up to the Project Looking Glass Q post, you do the gematria for that what Q posted. And it's also the gematria 30, 90 or something for 22 days.
Okay.
And November 11th plus 22 days is December 3rd.
There you go. I love it.
So, and then I kept going, and then look how many. The very last post ends in 22.
But if you don't want your last name on there,
There we go.
Yeah, but anyway, so I've been seeing it, and since I noticed that, and especially checked out a lot of gematria, I've been seeing it all over the last post.
Good stuff.
I think it's significant. I think maybe it's another D5. We'll see.
Could be. I sure hope so. Well, Alexandria,
right.
Thank you for calling in, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Ciao
Talk
for
to
now.
you, AOC. Bye-bye. All right. Up next, we have Phil D, then Katie, then Tony. Phil, are you there? Watch this be the Philly D from YouTube. How funny would that be?
Awesome.
Phil D, are you there, buddy? Don't got any audio on you. All right. If you need time to get your microphone working, then we've got Katie, Love by the Moon. Katie, are you there?
I am here.
Well, thank you for calling. How can we help?
Well, how you guys doing tonight?
Doing well.
Totally great.
Oh, Jason, that was like an amazing song, by the way. Keep on preaching. That's all
Okay. I will. Thank you for the positive affirmation.
Oh, not a problem. So basically, I had contacted Red Pill not too long ago, and this is in regards to we really need to watch our resources when it comes to energy. Now, I have a family member who was big in oil, but he's okay. He was my uncle in Texas, did pass away, but the sons took over the business. What happened is they went and merged with BP. They had went and they had merged with another company, but went over to BP. What I need you guys to watch out for is the Trudeau connection. Apparently, my uncle in Trudeau, not the current village idiot Trudeau.
Trudeau's father?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. What they did is they made a deal that totally, and I will send you more information. They messed us over, both on the Canadian and American side. They sold us out.
Really?
Into natural gas. Yes. And I didn't even realize this about my cousin. So I want everybody to understand that I am removed from that situation. My father had not spoken to his brother for 14 years prior to my father's passing in 1992. For some reason, he had some family affliction because there was a lot of children. There was 9 in total of my grandparents' children. And he was afraid that they were going to go after his money because he struck gold, with the oil in Texas.
Yeah.
All right. So that leads us further on. We need to have a better understanding that we are the United States of America Incorporated.
Yes, actually, there's a documentary called Frequently Unanswered Questions. My friend Scott Bartle made it several years ago, and he discovered that he's from Australia. Australia and all of the countries in the Western world, maybe the entire world, are all corporations. And he's going to be coming on the show very soon, and we're going to be talking about this very subject.
That's good. I appreciate you guys. And there are a lot of us that are following the situation. This all started with the railroad system, which will shock people to know that the railroad system has not been owned by us. It actually is owned by China.
I had heard that China was buying up infrastructure like that. I mean, obviously they had purchased or leased. They purchased the leases on many of the ports. So you're saying that China currently owns the United States rail system?
Some of it, yes. And that's where Pelosi and the other three big names.
Yes, I had heard specifically in California, wasn't that high-speed rail system supposed to go all the way to China?
Basically, yes. And virtually there was a plan to do it underneath the ocean.
Okay.
So when people, I know, AOC, she's ridiculous. She should go back to serving tacos.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I totally call her Auntie Ed. I can't stand her. But anyway, here's the other kicker to my family. I have a cousin, and, gosh, this is really bizarre. I'm not making any of this up. I wish I could, trust me. He works for NASA. Talks about nothing. The only thing that I know, this plays right to, the whole space force. He goes to Russia at least every 3 to 4 months. Now, can somebody please explain to me, if we have destroyed everything, how is it that he can give relief? And this is just not Russia, this is China. How can they give this relief up in satellites? Can you explain that to me?
No, I have no idea. The whole space race thing has my mind a little bit twisted because I've seen enough video evidence to show that whatever they're showing us is not what they purport it to be. So, I kind of see the space race between, us and China, Russia, all of this as kind of a carefully orchestrated, movie that they're putting out there to create this like false sense of competition between all of us.
Well,
I agree with you.
And my understanding is from him, with obviously letting us know that, he's not going to let me know squat past what he's told me. But if they're interchanging every 3 to 4 months, going up into space, this is my understanding. And because you can only stay in space for so long. And so what they do is they recirculate people. And I'm like, what, dude, you're telling me you're in some kind of satellite that you can function in? So
Katie, I'm getting a lot of messages from the audience saying that the sound quality is coming in and out. So I apologize, but we've got a couple more people to get to, and we've only got about 10 minutes left.
Nope. Well, thank you. You guys are wonderful.
No, thank you for calling. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes.
Rock on, Katie.
Yep. You too.
Bye-bye. All right. So we're going to be moving on to Philly D. Phil, are you there?
I am.
Thank you so much, Phil. Welcome to the program.
Well, I've been waiting very long to call in. I really respect everything that you guys are doing for what we've got going here.
Thank you, Phil. I'm glad that you were able to finally get onto the show, buddy. So what was it that moved you to call in tonight?
Well, we can stay on topic with Project Looking Glass. That's fine.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I really wish you'll. I really hope you'll dig into it a lot deeper. And if you have more of an expose show on it, obviously I have Zoom now, so I can get a hold of you. But for the most part, from what I know, it's absolutely true that they found technology, brought it in, but the piece that's missing is that you need to have the proper, I guess how the best way to say this is that you need to have the proper interface.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chunk missing between the human element and the infrastructure that is being provided to the human element testing. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I had heard something previously about there is like the element of the soul, like something about our ability to empathize and I guess feel that was lacking from whoever it was that designed the technology and stopped them from being able to use it successfully. Is that the same kind of thing that you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So like if you're a CEO of a corporation, right? And basically you have to do what's best for the corporation without any kind of emotion coming into play. It's the same feelings where there's no emotion and it's just logic. And so as you're looking through the looking glass and you're seeing the timelines converge, like you and Thomas were talking about last night.
Yeah.
Everything bottlenecks, like they said, at 2012. Now, I'm not here to credit or discredit everything that you guys said last night or even the video that you used. But the information, like you guys were saying, whether he's credible or not, the information is that he put out is absolutely damn near to the letter correct.
So Phil, what is your connection to Project Looking Glass?
A lot of research.
A lot of research. Okay.
That like I mean, on top of that, it's a lot of firsthand research from longer than most of this has been even thought of. He said he started, or he was with the program in, 7 years ago, 2011, late part of 2011, since we're coming up on the 8th year.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to a bottleneck and the only thing that the elites can see is an outcome that they don't want to hear,
mm-hmm.
He's absolutely right. I mean, when you don't want to hear something, that's when you get into the cognitive dissonance of you can either accept it as a truth or you can try and change it. And so obviously they immediately try to start changing everything.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, these people have unlimited wealth and resources, and they've been shaping the direction of history for generations. So if they get to the point where they are told that it doesn't matter what they do, they're going to lose no matter what because the Great Awakening is coming and they're not going to be able to do anything about it, I bet you they got pretty freaked out.
Right. I mean, I'd pay anything to be a fly on the wall when HRC's using the looking glass to basically see defeat again and again and again.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, Phil, buddy, I definitely want to talk with you more about this, but we've got 5 minutes left and we've got 2 more callers to get to still.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Good evening, Jason. As a last thing to say, I love the music. I love the creative.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, please keep it up. And as far as both of you go, I'll still obviously be sticking around. So
appreciate it.
Keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you guys another time.
Okay, brother. Thank you. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Tony T. Tony, are you there?
Tony, are you there?
I am here.
Excellent.
I am here.
How are you?
Great. I just want to let you know, Red Pill, that I'm having like a secondary reaction on this. It is so weird. It's like I'm having secondary feedback on this. So if I have a delay, it's because of that. But I just want to say, Jason, I did not get on at the very beginning. I am so sorry. I am going to watch from the very beginning. The only way Red Pill that I would call, I hope he would know this, is because I'm waiting for the secondary feedback here. Is because I heard somebody earlier that was talking about on the call-in part that you probably just started it at the time that I called in. And that's why I decided to call in. I don't know exactly what you were talking about. Like I said, I would go back and listen to the beginning of this. But she was talking about education and children. So.
Yes.
Red Pill, I had sent you a message, and I know that you can't get back to everybody because you've got thousands of people to get back to, and that's fine. But I'm in Texas, and I was made aware of Austin ISD, Independent School District, has already passed this. And I'd like you to look into this.
Okay.
And she was talking about the earlier caller. I don't remember her name, but she was a few callers before me. She was talking about education and the children. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe because of my Photoshop picture, nobody knows this, but I'm telling you that I'm 54 years old.
You look great,
Isn't
Tony.
that wonderful. I look great, don't I? I look
Yes.
so great. Let me tell you. But, you know, with our kids and how they're indoctrinated into different things, we've really got to worry about what is being put into their brains. I've watched actually what you and Thomas with True Reporting we did. And Thomas, oh my goodness, Thomas said, I love this. I actually typed this up because I loved his quote, is that you can open your mind, but don't empty out your brain. Don't let your. Do you remember that?
I remembered. I don't remember exactly how he said it either.
Oh, that was hysterical. That was awesome. Open your mind, but don't let your brain fall out. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, listen, Tony, we've got 2 minutes and 2 more callers to get to.
Okay, let me get right to it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get right to it. Austin Independent School District just passed this. That, oh my gosh, this is totally sick. They said that they were going to start teaching the kids how to relax so that they could have sex and it wouldn't hurt.
What? I don't know why they need to be telling children this.
I know.
That's crazy.
And then, of course, with parental rights, why, like, come on. Even if you opt your kids out from that, you know the other kids are going to be talking about it to the other kids that had been opted out from that. That is terrible.
Yeah, that's
so
that's
you've
very
got
distressing.
to say, what is their agenda on that? So I've already sent you the article on that.
Okay.
Check that out. I'll send that to you again so it goes up to the top of your file again.
Go for it.
Because I know you got so many things. And Jason, I am going to go rewind or watch the replay so I can see what you talked about. Jason, I'm aware of you. And I love your name. Jason was a Gentile. That's awesome. And don't stop drinking your juice box. I mean, like, that has made me laugh. Every time you pick it up and I watch that, it's like, that is so cute.
All right, Tony,
There
thank
you go. There you go. That's awesome.
Tony,
Okay,
thank you
I know.
so much. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
okay.
Let's start talking about.
Moving on, we got to move on to 9025. I'm so sorry, you guys. We're at the end of the time, but I wanted to make sure we get both of you. 9025, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What was your question, sir?
Have you ever heard of the Roswell files, the transcripts?
I have heard of them, yes. And I'm sorry, what was your name?
Oh, my name is Andy.
Andy. Okay, Andy. Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah, yeah. Was there something specific in them that you wanted to tell us about?
No, I just wondered if you'd heard of them because they're out there and they're an extremely interesting read if you can ever get on there and read them. They're online.
Do you happen to have a link that you could send me?
Yeah, if you just put up your email and I've sent it already to a bunch of people around Europe and they're just blown away.
Okay, yeah, it's redpill78 at protonmail.com. I'm putting it into the chat right now.
Well, I can touch on it real quick. I'm not sure what your time's like on your end.
Yeah, we're at the end of the show. So, listen, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to touch on one other thing as well before I go.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Have you ever heard of something called the Anderson Institute for Time Control?
I have. Yes.
Oh, you've heard of that because he did an interview on the Art Bell show in the 90s, and he talked about time travel then, that they'd actually cracked it and that they were using it, and they were able to actually manipulate things and actually speed time up inside this vessel, actually make budding plants flower inside of a vessel, which were energized by a laser.
That's very cool. I remember being on the Anderson Institute's website some years ago. I don't know that I heard the full interview, but I did see a video about it on YouTube.
But it also said it could slow time down as well, so it was great for like organ donors to preserve hearts, potential donors. He said it could actually freeze the time, so the heart would last longer.
Awesome.
I just thought I'd call in and I appreciate you listening. And
I appreciate you calling in, Andy. Give us a call next week earlier in the show and we'll talk about it more, okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye. And then finally, we've got Thomas. Thomas, are you there?
I am. What's up, guys?
Not much, brother. We're over time already, and I don't want to cut into Space Shot too much.
I'll make it short.
Yeah, thank you.
First of all, love you, love the show, love Jason. That background, killing it. Like it a lot. Also, again, real short, Trump 2020, he's going to win the election again. He's going to make America great. He's going to keep America great. And let's see those arrests happen. Let's see them happen.
100. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I think we're going to come into something real big here at the end of the year. So I've got my eyes on the end of December there once we get into the break in Congress. And I think 2020 is going to be huge, guys. I definitely believe that we're going to see something make some big moves here.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Thomas, thanks for calling, brother. And thank you to all of our callers tonight. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for your patience, you guys. I know it's sometimes we get some technical glitches, but I wanted to say thank you to everyone who also donated tonight. M&M at the very end, I see that there. Hi, RP, Jason, and family. I just came back from vacation. New Zealand is beautiful. No internet. True vacation. I hope that you had a great time. Also, Phil Denman, I'm a farmer, could talk to you about weather. Phil, call in next week. Everybody, I want to remind you, go watch Space Shot 76 live. He should be on the air right now. Thank you to everyone for being here tonight. Thank you, Jason, for being here tonight. And as always, this has been Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone, and God bless.